Hello drivers, there has been so much news in the last couple of days regarding Ubisoft that you may have seen on your social feeds. The Avatar game delayed, the new Assassin's Creed project, but also the cancellation of Ghost Recon free-to-play, Splinter Cell VR and 2 unannounced video games. Anyway, one important information has not been disclosed, and that will be today's discussion following all the reaction on my last YouTube post about it, the value of the Driver IP. And if you are a keen fan of the channel, you will remember that I've already made a video on this topic 2 years ago, but it was time to make an update, especially considering the big drop in the value. Indeed, according to the official numbers, Driver lost around 99% of its value this year, from $8.4 million to $100,000. As you wondered in the comments, these are real numbers, not made up ones from me. Everything is coming from official annual reports that you can find on Ubisoft website and uploaded each year in June or July. Since 2016, they added a section in this very long document that briefly covers the value of their acquired brand. So it means that they only share specific numbers on the IPs they have bought, not their in-house ones. In this case, we have of course Driver, both in 26 from Atari, and the large Tom Clancy portfolio, which is owned by Reflection Limited since 2015 for fiscal purposes. There is also a generic other brand for the very small IPs, I guess. What I did is extracting the numbers that are interesting regarding the Driver IP and put them in a graph to see the evolution of the value over the years. If we take a look at this graph, we can see that the IP started at 15 million's value, then there is a first drop to 8 million with a slow rise and stagnation for 3 years, then the biggest drop of all this year to only worth $100,000 anymore. In my last video, I was already explaining the first drop in 2017. That was simply because they changed the way they calculated the value of the Driver IP, which was done using an external firm before and then changed to internal calculation like the other brand of this section. But there is no explanation that I can think of for this year's massive drop. Especially considering that, contrary to the last 7 years, the Driver IP is in fact used with the official live-action adaptation in the works with Binge, so it doesn't make any sense that the value will drop by this much. My guess is that the previous calculation was wrong and that the IP was not at all near 8 million for all this time, but making this adjustment now still seems weird and out of place. Moreover, what does it really mean? That's perhaps the remaining mystery, as it is unsure if the brand net value is equal to the price you could buy the IP for. If we have financial experts in the Driver community, I would love to hear more about it. In the meantime, we can dream for fun and that we could start a crowdfunding to buy the IP back from Ubisoft as suggested in my YouTube post comments, or we could ask Martin Edmondson to help us a bit with it, considering that $100,000 for the IP is a very good deal. We could imagine making the community projects such as the Driver Syndicate or Redriver 2 official, releasing them and making a ton of profit in the process. Anyway, to be more realistic, we can assume that the current value assessment is wrong and that the value will drastically go up next year, especially considering that the Driver live action adaptation will be released by then if everything goes right. So what's your thought about this? Please tell me your assumptions in the comments. I always like to read some good Driver discussions and theories. And why I think that hasn't lost 99% of its value year on year is definitely the Redriver Club. Join it to get access to custom emojis on YouTube. Thanks to my Redriver producers, driverdimension.com, French Contact, Neurosyn, Snake on YouTube, Emmett McLaughlin, Paul Lanois, Denis Frontier, Carguy50, David Ordon, Thomas Lewis, and Mut. And in any case, see you soon, drivers.
Perfect.